So we're joined by Craig Thomas,
What's going
native of
on?
Jackson,
How you doing?
owner of the Jersey Wave. We got our entrepreneurship class here at Velma Jackson. I've got a room full here with me. We're recording this for all of our friends in Madison County schools, Madison Central, Ridgeland High School, Germantown High School, the Academic Options Center, and our YouTube channel. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so obviously we're going to talk about the Jersey Wave, but just a little background about you. You went to Jim Hill High School,
Yes,
where I
sir.
started my career. I started my career, so I have
Oh,
fond
that's cool right there.
Yeah, I have fond things to say about Jim Hill. But your background is not in t-shirts. Your background is in automotive. So take us a little bit about your background and how you kind of fell into this new venture that you've got going on.
Yeah, yeah. So when I was a kid, my grandma did taxes. She worked for the IRS, and she had to do tax returns as a side business. So one of her top clients is Mr. Bolden. I don't know if you know Bolden Body Shop downtown. So Marilyn Bolden and Mr. Bolden, he died, but rest in peace. But Miss Bolden's still alive, and they always hung out. And like whenever your mom hang out with friends, you always hang out at their house or their job. So I always hung out at the body shop down there. And like a little kid, nice to be down there. And then I just started working on cars. Then next thing I know, I'm there like at school. I want to be there. So that's where the body shop stuff came in from Marilyn Bolden down there, Bolden Body Shop. She's a great woman, man. So if you ever need some work done, go down to Bolden Body Shop. It's a great body shop. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. But you had an incident in your life that led you to get into the jersey business, which I thought was very
Oh yeah.
interesting. You
Oh
started the
yeah.
Jersey Wave. So tell us a bit of the background of the Jersey Wave, how you got started.
All right, so back in the day, like around like early '90s, 2000, jerseys were like a style. Like people wore jerseys and music videos and just everywhere. Everybody had throwback jerseys everywhere. So my auntie lived in Virginia, and up in Virginia, it's not really in the southern belt, so jerseys were like super cheap up there. So every summer I would go up there, bring them down here, and I would just be like, grown-ups would pay like $300. That's when jerseys was really a thing. Like you could sell there $300, and so I just kept doing it. Like so that turned into like a side hustle for me. And then one day I had got my mom's house got robbed. And then it was funny because every Friday I go to Chinese restaurant. It's called Yunnan Garden, but it's gone. It was on Highway 80. And my classmate, he always saw me wear jerseys. And that Friday I walked in with no jersey on. And then he was like, "Where your jersey at, man?" I was just like, "Man, I got robbed, man." He was like, "Well, you all got a plug, so you good?" And I was like, "I don't have a plug. I just always get them from up north." Then he was like, "Well, my family, we can work together." And I was just like, "For real?" So ever since then, like, me and him just been, working together and getting the jersey stuff going.
That's awesome. Now,
Yeah.
and we've had a chance to look at your website, and I know you're really focusing on the Jackson State football jerseys now, and they've
Yeah.
commented that they look pretty sweet. So,
Yeah.
tell us how you decide what products to sell, and what all you do sell, and
Mhm.
what different sports you sell, and all that stuff.
Okay. So the first jerseys I would sell with back in those days were throwback jerseys, and then Kobe Bryant was a number one jersey, and he's still number one jersey to this day. Actually, he's almost every other week somebody want a Kobe Bryant jersey. See,
Wow.
because they got number 8, number 24. Then the USA just won, so a lot of people wanted to wear the USA Kobe jersey during it. So it's just like Kobe is like on another level when it comes to sales and marketing. Like he's that guy. Like it's no one's close. Not even Michael Jordan when it comes to sales and marketing for his jersey. But when Michael Jordan died, it probably would be like that too. But right now, Kobe Bryant jersey sales are number one right now. So basketball and Kobe, and then of course Tom Brady. So most of the popular players, like the so-called goats that people label them, they give them the goat name. So those players like LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, those top sellers. But I wanted to get back to my city and my community, so I wanted to do NIL deals for Jackson State.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm in the process of now just doing that, and so far so good. I've been playing players. Um, a lot, well, not a lot of money, but it's yeah, I think it's a lot of money. You know what I mean? So it's a fair deal. It's the number one rated payout for any NIL jersey deal. Ole Miss has one, Mississippi State has one, but I pay more than those teams to the players.
Wow.
Yeah,
And I know you've also got to deal with Madison Central grad Isaiah Spencer, who's featured on your website. And
yeah, Isaiah, yeah,
I thought it was cool. You made Jackson State famously had the female kicker this past
yep.
season, and you capitalized on that by giving her an NIL deal. And who
Mhm.
knows how many girls and women want to buy that jersey because she was such a trailblazer. And I thought that was great marketing on your part to
Yeah,
capitalize on on big publicity for the university.
yep. And then this year I'm bringing out the breast cancer jersey. I don't know if you're saying on the website, but let me. It's a pink edition one, and working on it right here. It's the pink one, and then
That's tight.
this one actually for the mascot. The mascot called Sonny the Tiger. So I got his breast cancer jersey. I'm gonna install the breast cancer patch on it. So this gonna be the jersey for the pink out game for breast cancer. So I had told Leilani, our mentor, the female kicker, we're gonna bring that jersey out for the pink out game for the breast cancer awareness game.
That's awesome. Now I also know that you sell. I know your main thing is jerseys. You also have hats and other things. So how do you
Mhm.
decide what you're going to sell, depending on the market?
Well, usually a lot of people come to me and ask, and so when somebody asks, I try to figure out a way to bring that into it. Just like for example, the Boy Scouts. Like I got a Boy Scout jersey on. I'm a Boy Scout leader in my church, and a lot of people wanted a different type of swag to their troop. So we got the Boy Scout jersey, got the camo on it. You know, got the Braves logos on it. Troop
That's awesome.
291 from Troop. So
That's awesome.
it's just when somebody come to you with something, you don't want to tell them no. When I was a kid, I always wanted certain player jerseys, and my mom be like, "I can't find it." I'm like, "What you mean you can't find it? Like you just go." When you're a kid, you just think everything is so
That's
simple.
a great point. That is a
Yeah,
great point. I was a big
kids
Atlanta
think
Hawks fan.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just certain. My mom be like, "I can't find it." I'm like, "What you mean? They're wearing it. Just find it." So when you a kid, your mind is not on that type of time. But growing up, I don't want to tell people no. 'Cause I know how I feel to really want somebody's jersey, and then you gotta tell them no. It's like, what you mean no? And then a lot of my community, they're big sizes, so I go up all the way to 8XL on my jerseys. You know
Wow.
what I mean? Yeah, just so people can wear their favorite team or their favorite player jersey to the game. Some people really love their team so much, but they can't find their jerseys in the mall and the stores.
Wow.
So that is how I make my money off that because I cater to people that have been told no their whole lives.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible. Now, I know you really focus on Jackson State because obviously their fan base is one of the largest in the country.
Yeah.
They outdraw a lot of FBS teams every Saturday. But
Oh yeah.
but let's say a Mississippi Valley fan, as
Mhm.
rare as we think they might be, if let's say a Mississippi
Yeah.
Valley fan, would you be able to do maybe the smaller schools at the lesser known schools if somebody wanted a jersey?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I right now I have done Valley jerseys, Alcorn. I have did every SWAC team in there, but I'm trying to work toward doing an NIL deal with every team eventually in the SWAC. It's my
Oh
first
wow.
year doing NIL, so I'm still learning the process and learning how to approach players and how to make sure I'm marketing right and partnering with the school, stuff like that. So that's the number one thing is just learning right now. So I think in a
Absolutely. And I'm
couple,
glad.
yeah,
Yeah, and I'm
yeah,
glad you mentioned that. That's a great segue to what I wanted to say next because you talked about you got to approach players, you got to approach clients, and
mhm,
this even if you have the coolest looking jersey out there, if you can't sell it, you're not going to make any money. So you've
yeah.
got to have those communication skills and those business skills
Oh
to be
yeah,
able to
yeah.
present to somebody and say, "Look, here's what I'm going to do for you. Here's your return on investment. Here's how much it costs. Here's what you're going to make." And
Yep.
even if you're not selling jerseys, you've got to have that skill in any aspect of business. Even
Oh
if you
yeah.
don't want to be
Yeah.
an entrepreneur, if you want to be a great employee, anytime you can sell things and communicate things, you can be successful. And these kids get so upset that I make them present, but it's just all about toning
Oh
those
yeah.
communication skills in
Yeah.
business.
Yep. And that's the number one thing. You have to be, as they say, people friendly, or you have to find a way to make them want your product or want your service. And that's no one thing. Like people come to me and say, customer service did a great job. Like, have
Yep.
you ever noticed, like, if you call, let's say you call NFL Shop right now, you're gonna talk to a operator, and then you're gonna talk to another person, and then you're gonna talk to the manager eventually. But with me, you call me, you talk to the direct person. And I think people don't understand that technology has improved a lot where you don't have to do as much. You can let the computer do everything. But honestly, humanity and people want to talk to someone. They want them to feel like or my money is important. So you have to make your client or your customer feel like their money is important enough for them to spend it on your product. And that's
Thank
why
you, man.
communication is going to be the best thing you have to do. So kids, don't think he's wasting your time, because no matter what you go through, a job interview, it could be just going to a presentation or even going to a college. You have to present yourself well for people to want you. Yeah.
Absolutely, and especially in a competitive business, because I always
Yeah.
say an entrepreneur needs the customers more than the customer needs the entrepreneur.
Oh
So you
yeah,
have to
for sure.
you're the best bet and the best choice for them to spend their money.
Yep, that's true. Yep.
Now, before I get, and I got some really good questions I want to get to, but what are some things you see yourself doing in the future? Because obviously, most of your business is online. I know you've done some pop-up shops at games and things like that. So,
Yeah.
what are some things that you have in the future? Because obviously, kids say I want to do this and I want to have a store, but you can't grow too fast. So,
No,
what are
no.
some things that you're planning to do that may be a way to grow your business?
Most likely it's going to be, like I said, going to do NIL deals eventually at other colleges. I think up next is going to be Alcorn, and after Alcorn, Southern, and then after Southern, I got to figure out where I'm gonna go next. But that's the goal: to start off with the SWAC. Start off with those schools, and then right now I'm partnered with MRA, Madison Ridgely Academy. I was down there last week, and I got some jerseys I'm putting on the website. I talked to the head coach that's over the team shop. So we're gonna bring out MRA jerseys out this year for high school, for a private school. I feel like private schools don't have that jersey sales. A lot of parents want to wear their kids jersey to the game, but Under Armour or Ray Miles don't be like, oh, we don't make extra jerseys. You know what I mean? That's where I come in, because for senior night, a lot of parents want to wear their jerseys for senior night. So that's what I'm trying to partner MRA with. So that's what we're gonna bring
Oh,
out in like a week or two. So the MRA jersey will be on the website probably like in a week or two.
wow. And that's over there at MRA with my high school football teammate, Mike Espy, also on the
Yep,
coaching
Mike
staff.
Elsey. Oh man, he's nice.
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to my high school teammate right there. But
Yeah.
I do have some really good questions. And I'll get to as many
Okay.
of these as uh oh, this is an interesting question. This is Robert Branson. He's a senior, one of our football players here. And he asked,
Okay.
have you ever looked into materials that may use fewer resources as a method of production?
Well, I'm kind of old school, so I still use my regular, dry fit material. We go cotton, we go wool. Right now, Oregon jerseys are super hard to make, and it's so hard to make, it's almost impossible to duplicate. So that
Wow.
is if I could learn how to get that resource, I could make some money off Oregon. But those jerseys are crazy hard to duplicate. It's almost like it's stitched, but it's heat pressed at the same time, and it has a hologram. Like the numbers, some of their numbers, they're like golden in the sun reflection where it reflects different. So if you ever seen Oregon football team, just I know on TV you really can't see the numbers and designs, but you ever get a chance and they do a zoom in interview on somebody, look at the details of those jerseys, the numbers. Those is crazy. So if I
Yeah.
if, if I can get those resources, that would be easy, because it's not stitched and it's not heat press. I don't know what is it. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It helps when you have field night money behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah.
This is Caden Williams. He's a sophomore, one of our football players and power lifters, and he asked, "What was the inspiration for the name of your business, and what was the reasoning for that name?"
Uh well, It's this rapper named Coke Boomway here, and him and his manager named Kansas Gray, and they always say, "Man, you got to ride the wave." And then I was just like, I like this. So then it's just like, you know what, ride the Jersey wave, So that's why I always do my little wave and then like a person surfing behind it, because I always say the only way you can get these jerseys, you got to ride the wave. So that's
Wow.
why. So that's where it came from. It got interest from that. Then I just add my little twist to it. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. This is a good one. This is Rakib Body, one of our basketball players here. And
Okay.
he's got a couple of questions. He asked, do you make crop jerseys?
hmm I have made it, but not too tight because the mama wasn't. You know how moms are. So I just made it go down to like the belly button.
I got
Not
you.
up here, not but the belly button was the lowest her mama was cool with. So yeah.
I feel you. And he asked, then he's got a few questions. Then he asked, how did you go to school for this? Well, how did you learn to design? Did you go to school or were you self-taught?
I actually went on Adobe Photoshop. They have seminars, and when I was visiting Atlanta, they had like a little workshop there, and then I signed up for like $100 seminar, and they teach you how to work the basics of Adobe Photoshop, and that is a whole different world of designs. It's so much stuff you can do on Adobe Photoshop that they can make a fake picture look real, or they could take my face and put your face on it, and you couldn't even tell. Like it's Adobe Photoshop is top tier. Nothing can compare to that. And I'm still learning how to use almost everything on there as well. You know,
That's awesome. All right. And
yeah.
then he asked, what's the favorite jersey you've ever made?
My favorite jersey I ever made. Oh, I'm gonna have to roll with it. Sean Taylor's my favorite player. Sean Taylor, Miami
Oh,
Hurricane.
RIP, man. RIP on
Yeah,
Sean Taylor.
yeah, that's as a kid growing up, and I played safety, and I always wanted to be like Sean. When I played, so that guy. So I always wanted to. So I made the Rose Bowl, jersey. Went to the Rose Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, these kids don't understand how great those Miami Hurricane teams were. So Sean
Oh,
Taylor,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Well, I just got three more. This is Anthony Walker, senior,
Okay.
one of our football players. You may have seen him as a All Metro honorable mention in the preseason here.
Ah,
But he's also got his own clothing line he started. And he
mhm.
asked, what's the biggest risk that you have taken and what was the outcome?
I don't take risk. That's what's wrong with me now. My family and friends always tell me, just go all in with it. And I just, my mama always taught me to play it safe, you know what I mean? So I really don't take too many risks. I haven't took any loans out. Everything I did was off
Oh,
my
wow.
money. And they always tell you not to do that. They tell you don't use your own money to start a business. But I didn't listen to that rule. So I haven't taken any loans yet. But I think if I was to take a risk, it would be to get a business loan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I haven't done that yet. So I just play it safe. I think the most risk I ever did was buy a whole bunch of jerseys and try to sell them on the corner or something. That's probably the biggest risk I ever did. Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, and I see everybody say, because I drive Uber for the Jackson State games, and I have never seen so many booths set up in my life of folks selling
Yeah,
stuff.
a lot of people set up a lot of booths, and that that's a risk, but it's like a safe risk. But then it's like so many people sell. A lot of people sell jerseys too, but their jerseys aren't stitched, and they don't have the names on the back, and they don't get back to the players. So I think that's why a lot
Absolutely.
of people like to buy with me, because I get back to the players, I get back to the team. So that's the marketing tool I have. But a lot of people sell T-shirts, hats. So many people sell the same thing, and that's why competition wise, what's gonna make them shop with you? What's gonna make you be like, hey, Craig, I want to go shop with you instead of buying a T-shirt that's 20 $35.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because real briefly, if you can offer something even just a little bit more, you can charge a little bit more, and it gives you
Yep.
that reasoning to charge a little bit more. So then you're going to have
Yeah.
even more money to make. So
Yeah.
little things like that, I think, are good investments.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, I just got two more. This is Destiny Smith. She's a senior, only female here with us today.
Oh,
And
okay.
Have you ever thought about selling female themed jerseys?
Well, yeah, with the female thing would be the breast cancer jersey. So that's coming out. You know, Leilani got a breast cancer jersey. She's the only player that has her own official breast cancer jersey for the
Oh
Jackson
wow.
State, and I want to say for the whole country. You know, the only one that has an NIL jersey that she can make money off of. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be the number one. I think I'm gonna start doing more female thing, but this year is gonna be the breast cancer awareness game jersey.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I do just have one more, and this is what I
Okay.
wanted to hit on too as we're closing out. But this is Shirai Luckett. He's a sophomore, and he asked, "How was life growing up where you lived in Jackson?"
Well, I was part of the as they say the Oreo crew. I grew up in West Jackson. My mama had me in private school. I went to St. Therese Catholic School. I grew up Catholic. But when it was time to go to St. Joe for ninth grade, I mean, yeah, so my mama couldn't afford to do it by herself. So then I had to go to school with the people in my neighborhood. So growing up, it was like I was a part of the neighborhood, but then again, I didn't go to school with them. So it was a big adjustment when I started going to school with them. And then learning how like they go to school and what they eat and how they dress. And it was just a big adjustment. So Jackson wasn't hard because I was in Jackson, but then when I got in high school, that's when I started learning like the struggles of people in the neighborhood and the community and how people, you know, barely survive each day, you know. And it's just being sheltered growing up, I never knew that Jackson life was like that until I started going to school with them and being with them all day long. And I'm like, oh wow. So, it's Jackson isn't as bad as everybody thinks. It's good things and bad things in any city you go to. You can go to St. Louis, you can go to Miami, you can go to Oakland. So I was gonna be pros and cons to any city you go to. So you just gotta find your way and a legitimate way to do things in the city, you know.
Yeah, and we're almost out of time, and we thank you so much for joining us. But a couple things before we go, because I want to hit on what you just said. Like I said, we just got one female in here with us today. She's a great student, and I love picking with her. But I've got a
Yeah.
lot of young, talented black men in here with me that is the
Mhm.
future of our community and the future of business. So why do we need more of these young black men to be leaders in our community? Because,
Mhm.
obviously, and I agree, Jackson's not near as bad as the media makes it out, but there's
Mhm.
still the stuff we see on the news that
Yeah.
we're losing young men every day.
Mhm.
So why do we need more of these young black men to step up in our community and be successful?
Well, for one, out of people that we see successful, let's say outside of Monte Ellis, who else do we see in the city? That come back and give. Monte don't give back as much as he used to, because he's busy with basketball and kids right now. But no one's come back and invest in the city. A lot of kids now go to county schools now. When Jackson used to be the number one school district when it comes to sports and academics, well, nobody beating us in basketball. You know what I mean? When wasn't nobody coming to beat us. Like we was like always the number one team to beat in the state. But a lot of people don't understand that when you leave Jackson, I mean, what are you gonna invest in? You just moving away, you're not coming back and investing nothing. And then the people that's here, they really can't afford to move out. So there's no real leaders to show them how to maneuver through the city and how to become great leaders. Right now, the only thing they have that's has influenced them is social media, TV, and all that stuff is bad. We don't have nobody that's in the city that's doing good things, and that's why I'm a part of the Boy Scouts and want to be a positive example so people can see and do great things with the community and with the church and with just anything in life. I think kids need to find a way to go away from the stuff they see online and on TV and find a way to give back to the community, which they need them. Jackson need better people that's going to be great leaders eventually because right now we don't train these kids, it's going to be worse. So somebody got to help, and we all got to come together and do the right thing.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. You said a mouthful there. Now, before we go, tell us where your website is and where we can find you online to buy
All
anything we
right.
need.
Now, right now, my website is www.jerseywave.shop. I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram at underscore the Jersey Wave underscore Facebook the Jersey Wave. Yeah, that's all of them. So yeah, that's me. That's where I'm at. So anytime you need a jersey, just let me know. Now, and I gotta make you a Velma Jackson jersey. I gotta make you one
Do
too.
it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
I think a bunch of them are going to start hitting you DMs to get that.
Yeah.
They're already, how much would it be? So you got
Yeah.
a big reaction out of that. So I'll
Yeah. Yeah.
they'll definitely get on your social media and hit you up. So Craig Thomas, my man,
Yes,
founder,
sir.
owner, operator of the Jersey Wave. See him for all your jersey needs. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, sir.
I talk to you soon, buddy.
All right.